We're back to my favourite place, and this time it's to see Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer in the world's best movie presentation format, 1570 IMAX film. I'll be giving you my thoughts on this film, but also those of a few others who hadn't actually seen a true IMAX film previously. We'll also take a look in the projection booth to give you an idea of how special it is to actually be able to see one of these, largest of all film formats, on screen. This was Friday, 11th of August 2023, and we were here for the 2 o'clock show. It was another sellout, and it was great to see one of the UK's top cinemas so busy. The BFI IMAX has the friendliest of staff, which is a real asset, and it seemed like all of them were on duty for this top-grossing 1570 IMAX film. Gordon was greeting everyone and offering assistance as they went into the auditorium, and then it was time to take in the atmosphere within and to feel the palpable excitement as the start time approached. Oppenheimer runs for just over 3 hours, but it certainly doesn't feel like it. That said, I did feel that the first 2/3 of the film were the best. My overall impression is that I had watched the fourth Nolan masterpiece on the trot, and I have been on a high since then, and up to making this video. It's not entirely historically accurate, but it's a film and compromises therefore have to be made, and it has to keep an audience entertained too. From a critical standpoint, this may well be Mr. Nolan's best film, but from an entertainment perspective, I prefer Tenet, Dunkirk and Interstellar. I loved Oppenheimer, but I think I just loved the other three even more. Would I have thought so highly of it in any other format? I don't think so. The indescribable clarity, colour reproduction and density of the IMAX print creates a very special cinematic event, and at the BFI IMAX it is matched by the sound system. Your seat shakes and you feel everything.
see it in 70mm, you get to see all the little imperfections in the film, and a little bit of grain everywhere. Amazing experience, yeah. Big enough screen for sure.
What did you think of your first IMAX experience?
I felt like I was on the in the film, and I'm going to look for my name in the credits. Okay.
Was it a bit like 3D at times with that?
Yes, yes, it definitely was. Considering where we were sitting as well. Yeah, I felt very three-dimensional, and I felt like I was in the set, especially when they were in the desert.
And you've just seen Oppenheimer.
I've just seen it, and it is phenomenal. It's a wonderful film.
And what did you think of the image quality?
The image quality was excellent. The grain was evident all the way through it, and of course the IMAX shots were the best. I wished it'd gone on forever. The 70mm was great, but the IMAX was the best. That's all I've got to say about it.
I thought it was excellent.
Well, what about the overall impression in this cinema?
Also exceeded my expectations, I would say. Really good sound quality, very good atmosphere, good facilities, very comfortable. So yeah, I'd recommend it to anybody.
The full sequences of the IMAX were stunning. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. It's the place to be. You've got to see the films in the cinema, experience the whole thing, the sound design, the colours on the screen. It's how it's meant to be. So, yeah.
The image quality, absolutely superb, and the sound clear, particularly for a film like this where it could get distorted. I was very impressed. So it created just the kind of atmosphere and experience that I'd hoped for.
Yes, it's an interesting film. But I haven't seen it in the right sequence yet. I must sit down and see it from beginning to end. I seem to see bits, because when we did the rehearsal I was so busy I just saw snippets. So I will sit down and watch the whole thing all the way through.
And are you impressed with the image quality? That's the question.
Yes, yeah, it's amazing, yeah. This shows what a photochemical print can look like. And we forget, because even going back to the, I suppose from about 2005 onwards, 35mm mainly was from a DI. And now to go back to the photochemical days where you just see basically one generation away from what was in the camera. What the camera shot, it's just amazing. Yeah.
So are all the IMAX prints master prints, or have you got one with you?
All the prints are off the negative. Yeah.
Wonderful. So there we are. We were fortunate enough to see another wonderful 1570 IMAX film that had actually been shot and finished on film. There's nothing else that comes close, and we saw it in one of the world's greatest cinemas. Can it really ever get any better than that? Some other related videos that I think you might like to take a look at, I will link to in the description below. Andy Electric Geek drove from Ayr down to the Manchester Printworks Genuine IMAX to see this film. That one is a road trip, very worth looking at. Also Bo at Terminator Juice in America. He drove quite a long way to get to his nearest IMAX. And also down under, young Clark Teddles. He's been shooting in the 70mm box at the Ritz in Sydney. He went in to do their standard 70mm print of Oppenheimer, and they've ended up putting a minute-long compilation on the big screen before every screening of this great film. So all worth looking at. I'll leave the links in the description below, and I hope you enjoy them. Anyway, one final point before I go, which I think is rather interesting. The working title for this film was Gadget. Until the next video, bye bye for now.